Good people, we locked and loaded, and we are at season 2 here of the Talkin Noise podcast. For Trav, for me, I'm Derrick. Fellas, we back with a new season. Hope you had a great holiday. Happy New Year to y'all, fellas. How y'all feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good. New year, same me's, man. I'm still here, just taking care of the fam and working, man. But I'm feeling good. Just glad to be here. I'm feeling blessed. And good to be here with y'all, with y'all good men. So let's do it.
Yes, sir. Trav, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Harper might come in a little later, but it's good to have you back.
Yes,
you haven't
sir.
been back since the Hawks got put out in the East Conference Final.
Man, it was tough, man. It was tough with the Hawks, but my Raiders, we in the playoffs. Finally. So it feels good for me, man. So right now I'm in good spirits. I had to be here for season 2.
Okay. So he back in action, and now he think his Raiders gonna do something. We're gonna see, because I got a lot of steam for your little Raiders that you think you gonna come with. Let's get into some news a little bit. A lot has really happened. I always say that, but a lot has really happened. Steph Curry is the NBA all-time 3-point leader. I know you got to say something about that, Mies.
I mean, I ain't gotta say much. I just had to say what I had to say about Steph. It's on tape. People know my feelings about Steph Curry at the moment, and I mean, he's just top. I mean, you ask me, he a top 10 all-time player, and he's just moving up. And I mean, he's just the greatest shooter anybody's ever seen. Period.
He's starting off with a lot of ether right there.
And I mean, I'm still trying to figure out who I'm gonna put out, but I mean, I gotta put him in there. You got to. It's like he's the greatest point guard to me of all time.
So you got him top 10 player all time?
Top 10 all time, greatest point guard all time. So he's the greatest shooter, if he's the greatest point guard of all time to me, then I have to put him in the top 10 of all time. It just makes sense. I mean, I don't know what else the man got.
I don't think he's there. I do think he's knocking on the door. If he win another championship, I will put him in the top 10. For right now, I can't really say he's in the top 10. Greatest point guard of all time, I'm a Magic guy, so that's who I'm going to stick with, and that's who I'm going with. We can debate that any day.
I wouldn't be mad if people say Magic. It's all, that's like, it's not like a set in stone, but that's just who I think. When his career is all said and done, he's still playing. But to me right now, it's like he's sealing the deal.
A guy that has changed the game, a guy that has impacted this game so much, and these little kids are really trying to imitate that game after Steph Curry. What you was about to say, Trav?
No, I was about to say, as far as top 10, I don't know if I can give him top 10 yet, but Me's made great points in regards to, best shooter by far all time. You know what I'm saying? When you look at, just the great point guards, I think with Steph, for me, I have to see a little bit more when it comes to just playoff moments. For me, just give him that top 10 all-time category. But when it comes to just the culture, changing the game, our generation, the generation below us, it's his lead for the most part, So at this point, with LeBron on his way out the door, I think, Steph is a clear-cut favorite. So outside of that, yeah, I think definitely Steph is up there.
Definitely one of the greatest shooters of all time, if not the greatest. I will put him up there. I think he's the greatest shooter of all time. Yes, I will agree to that. Some sad news in the NFL. John Madden has passed away. Great commentary in the NFL. Coaching, left a legacy with so many stars. They had a good documentary on, I think, Fox on Christmas Day about his life, about his legacy in the NFL. So we want to send our thoughts and prayers to his family. Big Ben likely play his last game at Heinz Field. I'm sure we watched that, and it was, ESPN did it right, giving it to his moment, and it's good that he got the win. And now he's in the playoff about to take on the Chiefs. That will be his last game of the season. We know that. Means our Patriots made it to the playoffs. We clinched the playoff berth. The Carolinas still need a quarterback, and they didn't make it. That was my joke for Harper, but he was missing. He got scared. AB walked off in the middle of the game. He does his thing, and he was later released from the Bucks. Something happened Monday down in Georgia. It was a big celebration. What happened, Trav?
Go Dogs. That's what happened. Go Dogs.
Georgia wins the college football national championship. It only took 41 years, but they finally got one, and Atlanta can celebrate because the Falcons couldn't do it when they was up 28-3. But we all know that game, right?
Yeah.
A lot of coaches have been fired. Vikings coach Mike Zimmerman, Brian Flores fired from Miami, Matt Nagy fired from the Bears, David Culley fired from the Texans. The Giants fired Joe Brady, Jags Urban Myers, and now we have only one black coach in the NFL, Mike Tomlin. What can we say about this? I know the NFL needs to make a difference and actually make a stance. Everybody was shocked when Brian Flores was basically fired after what he did. Started off, I think, 0-3 or 1-3 or something like that, and then came back and won like 7 or 8 straight. Everybody thought it was a shocker when he got fired. What's y'all thoughts on just one black coach in the NFL, and does this need to change?
I guess I'll start with Flores. Like, I think, he didn't get, I don't want to say he didn't get a fair shake. I don't want to step on any toes as far as when we speak about this type of topic, but, I do understand in a sense of when you talk about how he started, this year, then you look at last year, I feel like, with Miami, they provided him a great defense, but I think he just needed a little more time. When you bring in someone like Tua into the play, and the fan base, the organization want him to kind of start right away and kind of pushed him in, I think that kind of pretty much put Flores in a bad spot. I think he'll most definitely get a coaching job next season. Is he worthy of being a head coach? Absolutely. I think that over the years, we've had our black coaches. I think the NFL is trying to do a better job at doing so. But if we're going to be honest about the topic, what black coaches have really produced, not in a comparison, with, black coaches versus white coaches or anything like that, but like what black coaches have produced in the NFL outside of Mike Tomlin, that you can say, like, what? Yes, you deserve the 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like, we've had coaches that was coaches for years, and we sit back and they weren't winning games, when they, couldn't make the playoffs, and nobody said anything. So, my take on it is, just I think the NFL is trying to do a better job as far as, just spreading it out. Ultimately, I just think Flores. I think he deserves another chance. I think he will get another chance.
Well, I think I'll touch on Brian Flores. I don't really see anything wrong with the Brian Flores firing. I mean, he's a good coach. He's a very good coach. I love Brian Flores, actually, but he missed the playoffs. I mean, and then also down in Miami, I think what people need to pay attention to is that I think they're moving in a different direction. They're about to get a new. I think, did they fire the general manager too? But I think they're just trying to move in a different direction. So, and he is not a part of that direction. And I think one of the reasons is because Tua was. I mean, bro, this is the NFL. You know how the NFL is. This is what the NFL do. They move on. They win. Done. I'm not even more so shocked about the Brian Flores. That's not the one that really shocks me. It's the David Culley firing, because David Culley, and a lot of people don't realize, but the job that he did down in Houston, and if you go down and you look at that roster, and you look at that roster, he did a wonder. Like that coaching staff, him, Lovie Smith, they did a great job down there. Their team never quit each game. They came out, they competed, and they played, and they never quit on them. And they played, but and so I just don't understand that. When he had 1 year, he didn't have his starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He didn't even have Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like all the stuff that he was against, them, they still put a quality team out there that went out there and competed, just didn't go out there and get ran over every game. You had your games, but they were fighting. If you watch the Texans this year, you would see like, oh, they put up a fight for at least 3 quarters, and then after a while, it's just like, all right, it's not so much, so much they can do. But in regards just to the whole one black coach thing, I think we're just a little early. Nobody's been hired yet. There's still let's see these positions get filled. I heard Gerard Mayo is the leader for the Texan job, so let's see, which I don't understand that hiring, because Gerard Mayo is not, I don't even think he's ready. I think people are just taking people from Bill Belichick because it's Bill Belichick. So it's like, oh, they should be all right. It's like Greg Popovich in the Spurs, like, oh yeah, they should, they'll work out. And Brian Flores to me is the best product of Bill Belichick in a while. So he's going to get another job. So let's let it shake. Let's let the tree shake and shake out, and let's see who lands where. And I'm pretty sure there'll be a couple black coaches, and I'm seeing black GMs, black people getting hired for GM position. I mean, getting interviewed for GM positions as well as women. So let's let it shake out before we start, uproaring and making a big deal about it, in my opinion. So yeah,
come on, we go to the streets and we protesting on different things.
Now when it's necessary, yeah. But I mean, let's just see what.
It's premature now.
I just think Miami just wants to move in a different direction. Like, how it is in this league. The owner says what the owner wants. The owner wants. I think, and the owner, they say he wanted Deshaun Watson and Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores really likes Tua. That's his guy. He's a loyal guy. He's gonna stick behind Tua. And so I just think that they're gonna get rid of Tua. I think they're just gonna scrap the whole thing and might try to go for Deshaun Watson and see what happened. That's my opinion, but he gonna go somewhere else, and Brian Flores definitely gonna get another job somewhere. So that's not concerning at all. I'm not concerned.
Well, you say he's coming back to us, right?
I hope so. I hope everybody come to my teams, man. I'm always just trying to win it all. Just trying to give me the best vote so we can win it. But yeah.
Every year he wants us to get in there. Well, let's get into some of this action, man. A lot of different games going on. The NFL playoffs is here. So let's bring up this poster and we can see.
Oh, flowers. Well, my flowers. Flowers go to all these teams up here, man.
Is it for the Raiders?
Any team that made the playoffs.
For the Raiders?
Any team that made the playoffs. Because it's a lot of teams up here that nobody thought that was going to make it. It's a lot of rookies. It's a lot of first-time people in the playoffs. Yeah. So, I mean, you just got to give it up, because, I mean, it's a lot of teams in here that I didn't expect. I expected the Patriots, but a lot of people didn't expect. The Raiders, Patriots, Eagles, the Bengals, so we got to just give some flowers to these teams and the coaching staffs and everything. So there's been a lot of things going on this year. Too.
And I think Jarrell might have hit on this the other time too, that it was so open field that anybody can beat anybody, even a given Sunday,
wide
and
open.
You can definitely can see that with these playoff matchups. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's start with none other than the Raiders. Versus the Bengals. This is the first game, man. That should be good. This is the first game of the playoffs, and it will be on none other than NBC. All right, so both teams, oh Lord, here he go, his Raiders. You hype off your Raiders?
Man, it feel good, man. I'm telling you, man, it's been a long time. Long time coming, but I know. Come on, we ready.
A change ain't happened yet. Just fired your coach. Oh, that was another fire. My fault. But what you feeling, man? How you feeling when you go into the Bengals? You know, a high power offense, a decent defense. Both of y'all are on some win streaks. Both somewhat, hot right now. The thing to talk about. Burrow, his last 2 weeks, he played. I mean, he almost had 1,000 yards in passing in 2 weeks. I think it was like 971, and then he had 8 touchdowns with that. Can you stop that offense? I mean, what are you saying in this game that the Raiders need to do?
As far as, just Joe Burrow, like, all credit to that man. Like, I've been hearing a lot of talk, this past week about just, this is his first playoff game. Is he ready for the moment? And truthfully speaking, this is Carr's first playoff game. Like, is he ready for the moment? So, I sit back and when I look at just the Cincinnati Bengals and I look at that offense, like Burrow and Chase, you can tell that chemistry is there. It was there in college, it's there now. I think, or I feel like outside of the first game, I think that was just something, like I said, we was going through a lot during the season, with just the email scandals, coaching change, trying to be able to, put everything back together, just mentally. But as far as the playoff goes, I feel like if we can be able to stop the big play, like that's going to be the game. I was sitting back and I was looking, just at our season overall, and one of the things that we are just terrible at, I think we're probably like ranked last, is when it comes to just the red zone scoring. Like, I'm not a big analytics guy. I feel like, when it comes down to it, preparation, and when it comes to just getting on the field, you just got to do what you have to do. When I look at the Bengals, I sit back and I say, okay, they have a run game with Mixon. They have Burrow. They have, Chase, Boyd. So they do have a high-powered offense. However, what I feel like they lack at is going to be our strength. We all know the offensive line when it comes to the Bengals. The offensive line, terrible. Burrow got sacked 55 times this year. We got Mad Max coming off on the defensive end. I think if we can be able to apply pressure, honestly, I think that's going to be the game. It's going to be our front four versus Burrow on that offensive line. I think that's going to be the big difference as to what we can do and if we can overcome and basically just finish it off like we're supposed to.
Yeah. Well, I somewhat agree. I think that, one thing that also will play a part in this game is the weather. And this is one of those games where I think weather will play a part. It's a 50% chance of snow. And the Raiders don't play well in cold weather. Basically, I think it's like anything below 50 degrees or something like that. They don't play. And the coldest game that they played this year was against the Cleveland Browns.
Because they out there drinking in Vegas.
Yeah, and so I think that matters. That plays a part into this game just a little bit, not much. These guys play football in all types of places, so they're not too foreign to it. But I think what it's going to come down to is what Trav, what you were saying is basically it's going to come down to the trenches. Because what I think the Bengals have to establish the run. If they can establish the run with Joe Mixon, the Raiders are the worst run team in the playoffs. They're number 19. They're not the worst in the league, but just the worst in the team in the playoffs. And I mean, if you can just exploit that and make it not so much, don't put it all on Joe Burrow unless you have to. So run the ball, call off the play action. You have so many weapons that you can, strike at anybody at any moment. It doesn't necessarily have to be the big play. I don't think. I think you could just lull you guys to sleep, slow that pass rush down by, running the ball, and then they have to respect it. And then for the Raiders, I think they kind of have to do the opposite, is exploit the pass on the Bengals, because the one thing that the Bengals, their weakness in the defense is the pass defense. And so if you can pass, if Carr can throw the ball, don't turn the ball over, and capable of scoring points, because the one thing that the Bengals can do is score points. They can score points. The question is, can the Raiders keep up and score points? And I don't think they can. I think the Bengals just have too many weapons. And I just think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what it was the first time. But I do think it's going to be.
So they played already.
Win. Yeah, they played, and I think they lost. The Raiders lost 38-12, and so it wasn't pretty. Joe Mixon had a killer run, field
32-13,
and two TDs. So I mean, I just
that's the thing though. Like you said, like those numbers, they gave the ball to Mixon. They did exactly what you were saying they need to do, is run the ball. Right. If you look at Mixon last 5 games, he's only averaging like 56 yards. The last time I think I looked, I think it was like 56. He had like, yeah, he only had 160-yard plus game in the last 5 games. So I think right now, for some reason, I'm not sure if it's just, with Burrow getting all of this shine, they're trying to make him do too much later on in the season. I think they get back to the run, it will cause problems. But I feel like one thing that we didn't touch on was just like penalties, for an example. Like I watched the Raiders all year, and we're like one of the worst penalized teams in the NFL, period.
Correct.
So when you look at our secondary, it's like we have to literally get pressure on the quarterback to force decisions, because after 3 to 4 seconds, it's almost over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you had me to really say what would you prefer, I would really prefer Mixon to give anywhere between 20 to 23 carries this game. I think, if we can be able to just get the ball out of Burrow's hands as much as possible and stop the deep ball, play back, cover 3, however we like to do it, and just sit back and force him to go short, because our secondary is what scares me. That's the one thing that scares me.
But he's got so many weapons.
It should scare you because
don't do that.
Let me give you a little background of that I did. Mees did his research. Let me do my research. First of all, the Raiders secondary is horrible. It's trash. All right, let's just say that.
We agree.
They are one of 3 teams. One of 3 teams. Hear me out. In the Super Bowl era, to have an above 500 record, while intercepting 6 or fewer passes. That's horrible. Y'all horrible. I'll say this. The Bengals and Burrow will test the secondary. They're going to go for the home run. I think he was averaging over 8-point-something yards or whatever when he was passing. And so, like you said earlier, it will be a test to Bengals O-line, because obviously he the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I'm surprised it's not Wentz. But anyway, so they got to really do something with Max Crosby, and they got to make sure they double team him, or at least throw a tight end at him or something like that. And when you look at Burrow and his trio of offense, any given day, one of his receivers can have a big game. So I think Higgins could have a big game. I think Chase can have a big game and open up the field. Then you go with Boyd, and then we're gonna feature Joe Mixon, and we're gonna run him 20 times. We might throw a little scream and do something for him. So I think that Raiders defense will get tested. Hopefully, the Bengals offense is not like sleep, and got to wake up and get to the second half because they rested everybody in the last week. So that's a big thing that you will have to do. I think, it's only 8 years before Carr stepped into the playoffs. So, I know you've been going through it for sometimes, but, it's going to be a different atmosphere.
I'm a trust Carr. I'm going to sit back. I'm hard on Carr. He is a top 5 quarterback statistically, but I'm hard on him as just a Raiders fan.
He loves saying that.
Yeah, top 5.
23 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. That's top 5, I guess.
Vegas is the number 7 passing offense in the league.
You can't deny 4,800 yards. Like, he's throwing the ball. And that's the thing. if we can be able to get it into
but
the end
23
zone,
touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Is that productive?
Like I said, that's the detractor. That's the part of Carr that I gotta see and hope we don't get. Like Carr has the tendency, he will play a great game, but ever since the injury, when it comes to pressure, it's like he closes his eyes when he throw the ball sometimes. It could be 4th and 10 and he's throwing it in the top row. Like sometimes I question those decision-making skills. However, like I feel like if Carr, especially with Waller back in the mix,
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to help out, Hunt and Winfro. I think, to me, arguably, he's probably a top 5 route runner in the NFL. Like, I don't think he get enough credit. He reminds me of your guy, Welker, Edelman. But hey, that's just me. I feel like if Carr can be able to just make the smart decisions, and actually go through progression, that's really his problem. He has a tendency to just look down his first progression, and if that's not it, he kind of gets shaky in the pocket. But I think we'll be all right. Jacobs, he's been running the ball well, averaging 80 yards the last 5 games. So he's kind of, doing enough. Like we're not looking for him to give us 100, 115, like a Henry would do for the Titans. We just need him to be able to give us 3-4 yards to carry, move the ball, because time of possession, we average roughly the same, with the Bengals. Like our numbers are pretty much equal. It's just that who's going to be the one to make the play, and who's going to be the one to not make the wrong play. And I think that's what it's going to come down to with Carr and Burrow. Like who's first playoff game, who's going to be the one to make the big play. I think that's really what we're going to see.
Bengals -5. That's the line, and that's what you should take. I'm just saying.
I just
Money
say
line,
Raiders
I'm telling
limit, like you said, Raiders limit the penalties because you're the second most in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you got to play a clean game for most of these teams in the playoffs right now.
Well, that's a lot of teams. Yep.
Yeah. And Carr, you got to stick to what got you here. Running, Renfro, Waller, who's back. Hopefully he's 100%. And make smart decisions. I think that's what he got to do. I mean, sometimes you want to go for the home run, but sometimes you just need to keep the offense on the field and get that 3rd and 2 instead of going for a 20-yard pass. Let's maybe run it or make a slant or whatever to get the 3rd and 2 and keep the offense on the field, because you want to limit how much Burrow and that powerful offense can get on the field, because they've been putting up some big numbers in the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. Who you picking, Mies?
Oh, the Bengals.
-5. Man, I don't even wow.
Mies Bengals.
Like I can see I'm saying Raiders 34-27. The ball is in Burrow's hand to see what he can do to finish it off. Turnover.
And you don't think he's gonna close y'all out?
Turnover.
I don't have a score. Well, let me see. I think it's going to be more than 5 points. I can tell you that. The Bengals go with more than 5 points. I can just tell you that.
Bengals by 10. Bengals by 10. How about that?
Woo!
Bengals by 10.
Okay.
We could put some
it's
dew
gonna
on
be
it.
Exciting. Yeah, it's gonna be a good first game of the playoffs to start it off. It's gonna be a good.
Oh, for sure. Let's go keep it AFC. Steelers Chiefs. What you thinking about this one? There really ain't much to say. GG's to the Steelers.
Steelers, I mean, I don't think they have much hope here. Steelers, I'm still shocked they even got in. I had them not even in. But I mean, it's they're terrible run defense. So I mean, I don't know. If they can get after Patrick Mahomes, that's their only hope. Get after Patrick Mahomes, because they do have TJ Watt. Let's not act like he's not on that team. And then their pass rush is decent. And so if they can get after Patrick Mahomes, then I think they got a chance. This is one of those games where Trav said, well, you gotta just throw out the stats for a team like the Steelers, and you just gotta hope they come out and play playoff football. I mean, they're terrible. They're a terrible defense. Like they're 32 and they're number 32 ranked in rushing allowed, like Russian defense. So I mean, Patrick Mahomes or Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Daryl Williams, they could have a big game. You know, you never know. Like just on the ground, just have a big game running. And I mean, that's going to open up so much for Kelsey, Hill, Pringle. I mean, even look for Gore. Gore might have a decent game because he's more of a running type of. They use him in that capacity if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not playing, because I didn't see him practice today. I did see that, so I'm not sure his status. But I mean, it's not much help there. What they minus 12.5? Oh God, I would take the Chiefs minus 12.5 because I don't think it's gonna be pretty. Yeah. And I'll just leave it at that. And you never know. And the weather, well, they're used to playing in that type of cold weather, so that's not.
But it's not, the weather's not even gonna be that bad. Like they need Mother Nature like to just have a snowstorm.
I mean, I don't even think that's gonna happen. That's not. I mean, even if that happened, I don't think it's gonna matter. Najee Harris, I don't even think was practiced today neither, so I don't even know what's up with him. So, but what you call it did say that he will play, so I'm sure he'll be available. So, but I don't think they'll have enough. I seen Juju might be back. He hasn't been activated, but I mean, I don't think he gonna help. But if they do, I will say is one thing that the Chiefs defense, their weakest thing is like they passing defense. So if you can exploit anything, if Big Ben can throw the ball down the field, that might be your hope, man. But I mean, it's I don't.
Do I have the Steelers beating the spread? Absolutely not. However, if I just have to, just
you call them a blowout,
man. If I had to speak on their behalf, what I will say, I feel as if they didn't even think they were going to make it. I feel like it was a situation where Tomlin just really wanted Ben to kind of go out in a way of like throwing the ball. Like, Ben, you've been here. We're not going to run the ball. You're going to go out with you. Like, win, lose, draw, we're going to put the game in your hands. Now that the Steelers have made the playoffs, I think Tomlin and them will probably kind of go more towards the run game, control the clock, time of possession. I think they understand like that is the way to win the game. If they try to put the game in Ben's hands, they have no chance. I think Ben, he has been playing good, dumping it down. But with the Chiefs, they just too high power, man. It's one play and it's over. Like, so Mother Nature, man. They need Mother Nature to come through for them. That's just all I got to say about it.
That ain't gonna help them.
Yeah, I don't think people are looking too much into this game. They already know the outcome. They already know what's coming. I mean, how much are we really going to trust Big Ben at this moment? We saw what he did most of the season. He was horrible. He was pathetic. And luckily he got into the playoffs, and now we're going to see what he going to do. I mean, are they going to have a plan? Yeah. Can they stop the Chiefs? Maybe. I mean,
No.
they do have a good pass rush. If they can get after him, then maybe. But we'll see if that helps. I think Pat Mahomes is going and the gang gonna go out there, put a show on.
Yeah,
it's gonna be over quick, and then all right, let's rest and see who we got next. You know what I mean?
If the Chiefs get up early, it's not going to that running.
Yeah,
ain't gonna work.
I don't think we're looking too much into this game and say, all right, this might go down to the wire. Now, if the Chiefs go out there and look like they did the first 5 weeks of the season, then we'll see. But they playing Chiefs football right now, and we'll see what happens. I think they got too many weapons for the Steelers, and the Steelers just lucky to be here, like y'all said. And whatever happens. So I'm guessing everybody going Chiefs.
Yeah. Mahomes looking like a real quarterback now. He ain't looking like no backyard quarterback. He actually sitting in the pocket and reading.
Making some.
This is a bye week, man. It's a bye week.
Bye week.
Bye week, man.
Good luck, Steelers. Great.
Sorry,
season.
Steelers fans.
Yeah, and we'll be back next year. Hopefully, when y'all find a new quarterback, y'all can go get Cam Newton or somebody. But it's a big game in Buffalo. A big game in Buffalo. A big game in Buffalo. A big game in Buffalo.
I can't wait to shock the world. I can't wait. I can't wait to shock the world.
It's a big game in Buffalo. Why? Why is it a big game in Buffalo? Because the naysayers. Let's break it down, Mees. Let's break it down. The naysayers. Y'all done. It's over. You'll never win again. You might as well kiss the playoffs goodbye. You ain't going back. Time is gone. That was your only hope. What is Bill record without time? What has he done without time? What is this? What is that? This is what we heard. Y'all ain't pick up no playmakers. Y'all ain't do this. Mac Jones.
Kendrick Bourne. I got laughed at about Kendrick when I tried to tell people about my boy K Bourne, man.
This is what we heard, and now our 10-7 Patriots are going to take on the 10-7 Bills down in Buffalo.
No, they 11-6, I think. I think they 11.
Are they?
Or they won when we lost the last game because they beat the Jets.
Okay.
In the last game we lost.
So they did
that was cute, Derrick. That was cute, my friend. That was cute.
Yeah, they're
11-6. Yeah, right. 11-6. So the 11-6 Buffalo Bills. I mean, we faced them twice, 1-1 split during the season. Some people say Matt can't do it. Some people say Josh Allen gonna shred the Patriots. It's over. You might as well call it done. You're gonna be going home Saturday evening, so you might as well just go to Cancun, book your trip now. Mees, what you saying that our boys got to do, man?
Well, I mean, I think we got to establish that for the Patriots offensively. Let's start on offense. They got to establish the run game. I mean, that's our bread and butter. That's been us all year. We do, as a lot of people do know, we do have a rookie quarterback. And so you don't want to put too much pressure on him early. And I'm hoping Josh McDaniels don't go out and do that BS he did against Miami. Came out and trying to throw the ball early. And Mac, what does he do? He throws a pick six. Run the ball. We got Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, the two-headed Hydra. You got to run them boys. And if they can stop the run, then we'll make adjustments. We'll make adjustments, but I think that we need to establish that run game so that Mac Jones doesn't, he's good for an early turnover every once in a while. Well, most of the time, early turnover, but our defense usually kind of keeps it close for us, and then Mac starts to get it going as the game comes along. And I think defensively, we need to, for one, we need to stop Josh Allen. We definitely need to stop Josh Allen. That's like should be number one. I think we got to contain him, keep him in the pocket. But don't let that man get outside the pocket and extend the plays, because that's how we will lose. Did
you call me earlier?
Who?
Because you in my notes. That's what you.
I
wrote that same thing
down. I'm just telling you what this is. I'm telling you the game plan. This is what they got to do, man.
Especially from the last game we played the Bills.
You got to keep Josh Allen in the pocket, and then I think it's going to be a very cold, no win this game. So Mac's going to throw the ball. It's going to be throwing this game. It's going to be cold though. It's going to be like freezing, 0 degrees. So I mean, I think that that's going to impact the Stephon Diggs in his receiving. I think it's going to be a under game for him. So, but you also have Gabriel Davis. You also have Cole Beasley. They are big time threats. So you have to slow down those Bills receivers, and I think Bill will try to force the Bills to run the ball. I think that the Bills running backs will have a decent game. I think they'll have a better game than what they usually have. And I think Bill will allow that so that, and then when it comes to those third downs, we got to make those stops. And I think that that's how the Patriots win the game. And then you can take it from there, Derrick, on how the Patriots. And then if y'all want to talk about the Bills, I could tell you.
I wrote down some things. I said, get pressure on Josh Allen. He was averaging 6.5 yards against the Patriots when we played them. Trav, I know you're looking at that. We got to limit the turnovers.
Yeah,
we can't make little
Penalties and
mistakes.
turnovers.
That's what I know about the Patriots. We always make that 1 or 2 mistakes, and then that kind of flips the game. You know, we can go up a touchdown or we can go up a 2-score lead, things like that. So we got to somehow flip the game and limit the turnovers. Little to none. All right, people, get off to a good start. We've been struggling the last couple of weeks playing from behind. We got to get off to a good start and get some points on the board, preferably touchdowns, because I'm tired of seeing these field goals. Touchdowns. So get off to a good start. Control the clock. We got to keep that man off the field.
Yeah.
Keep him off the field. Run the ball. We got to convert third downs. I think it was like 1 in 10 against the Bills when we trying to convert third downs. So we was getting off the field. They was getting more.
We didn't have Damian Harris that game. I will say that. And I mean, that's this because Damian Harris is a big part of our offense. He's better to me right now. He's better than Ramondre. He's the best running back we have. So he has to be on the field. And
Trav, I'm tired of you right now.
Oh, ain't nobody.
Y'all have the floor. I'm giving you the floor. Y'all have the floor. Yeah.
Like me said, run game got to be on point. We got to stay consistent with that. I'll try to take some pressure off Mac. Mac got to play a poised game, and he got to come out and play like the championship when he played when Alabama. He got to come out there and play a good football game and limit the turnovers.
Do all that. Just don't
play a good game.
Just don't turn the ball over and make your
good game.
Make your completions. And if we get in the red zone, if we can't run the ball in, pass, throw. Find my boy Double H because he's a red zone machine. He's a red zone touchdown machine. That's all you got to do, man. It ain't gonna be hard. Man, because this team.
I didn't say it's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be a test. I mean, the Bills have number 1 defense in the NFL.
They definitely
number
are.
1 pass rushing defense in the NFL. Then the cornerbacks is number 1. So that's what I'm saying.
Who the number 2? Who the number 2 defense? Who the number 2 defense in the league though? Who the number 2 overall defense?
I know our defense gonna show up. I know that, but we have to make
the Patriots
stops. So that's what we got to do. So
it's gonna be.
Then you look. Then you're looking at the pass defense, and then they get pressure on the quarterback. Our O-line was kind of hurt a little bit. I think Wynn should be back
my boy
for the game. I mean, he walked off looking like he was good, so hopefully he get back. So we have to control the game. I'll say my 3 points is control the game, no mistakes, and we have to score touchdowns, not field goals. Trav, I know you've been waiting to talk. What you got to say, man?
What do the Bills need to do, Trav? Tell us. I know you don't care. You don't care.
No, not what they need to do. What they gonna do? Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say the tone changed when y'all said Josh Allen. Like y'all were just so enthusiastic. And it was like, but we gotta stop Josh Allen. But we gotta stop Josh. Stop. Look, God, look. I'm gonna be unbiased here. Yes, I do have the Bills winning the game, but I do think it's going to be much closer than game 2. Game 1, I feel like the Bills just they didn't even go back and try to see what went wrong. Like that game there, like y'all literally ran it down their throats, and I think it surprised them. I think they said that they underestimated how good that offensive line and how good those two-headed monsters are. That's just me personally. That's just me personally, and I felt like it was in a situation where the coaching, like they got out coached. I think it was a situation they got to a point of the game. I'm watching it, and it seemed as if they was waiting on play action to come.
So Belichick got out coached. You said
no. He talked about the first game.
Game 1.
Belichick
Belichick. He basically was in their head. Like you can tell they were hesitant because it was like. Even myself watching, like the play action is coming. The play action is coming, and it just never came. But as far as when you just think about this matchup, I think you both have the Patriots' strength is the Bills. I wouldn't say weakness,
it's their
because
weakest.
they still middle of the pack. They still 14th. When you talk about the run, but it's going to come down to Mac. Y'all know this. You can sit here and you could talk about, run it down their throat. Mac, throw it to my boy Double H. He a touchdown machine. We could talk about that all we want. But
that's
the
Mac.
truth is, Bill Belichick has yet to fully trust Mac. And he basically had him on a leash all season. Like when you sit here and you look at the numbers,
What do you mean? He has fully trusted him. He played 17 games.
He's on a leash all season where and it's understandable. Like you don't want him to do too much. You don't want him to do too much. At this point, this is the playoffs. I don't want to hear a rookie excuse. This is the playoffs. Y'all made it this far, 11 wins.
Derek Carr rookie right now.
We made it this far doing what Bill Belichick been doing with Mac. So I'm confused. Like, why would he just turn like, oh, we're gonna switch it up now? No, keep doing what you've been doing. Why would you want to put a rookie quarterback out, have him out there throwing 40 plus times if you don't have to? Like, it don't.
You don't want him to be in a position to where he has to throw the ball for the first time 35 times a game in the playoffs. Because if Buffalo get up on you early,
35 not that bad. 35 not that bad.
He's thrown 35 times.
What I'm saying is this. When you sit back and you look at Buffalo, when you look at Josh Allen, like if they get up on the Pats early, it's going to be a long day. I think for the Pats, they're going to have to try to control the game. They're going to have to try to run the ball extensively in order to keep it close. But the Bills get up. I just do not see Matt being able to keep the Patriots afloat. And it's not, and I think he's a good quarterback. As a rookie, he's done a great job for a rookie to me, personally. However, his opponent, when we sit back and we say who, like Derrick said earlier, 17 points a game, ranked number 1. When you sit back and say total yards, ranked number 1. When you say passing yards, the defense allows the least passing yards this entire season. So when you sit here, it's not a knock on Mac. You got to give the Bills defense some love. Not only are they the number 1 defense in the entire NFL, but their pass defense is great. So when you sit back, you have an amazing pass defense with a run defense that can hold their own. All I'm saying is the Patriots are going to need to do something other than just run the ball, and they're going to have to put it in Mac's hands. If you think that running the ball like they did in I'm not going to say game 1 because Mac threw the ball 2 times, 3 times. Like, that was just one of those situations. But we all know it's going to come to a point where you're going to sit back. You're going to be like, Mac has to make this throw. Mac has to. I mean, he's going to have to make plays.
That's every game.
I don't think
he's done
we're
that
not
this
saying
year.
that we're not saying that he does it every game. We're not saying that he's gonna come. He ain't throwing. It's gonna be all
every
run.
game. We're not talking about. We're not talking about the
7
we're not
and
talking
we
about the
need a
267
completion.
against.
Matt gotta make the play when we need a touch. We in the red zone. It ain't like we run the ball every time in the red zone. Mac makes plays. You act like Mac just sit back and watch the run game, run the ball all the time. No, Mac actually throws the ball down the field to get us into the red zone every game.
How confident are you with Mac against the Bills?
100%. I'm confused. It ain't like he ain't never seen him before. It's the 3rd time playing. It ain't nothing new.
You're right. The first time he seen him.
Go ahead.
The first time he seen him.
You said what?
How many times did Mac throw the ball the first time he seen him?
What does that mean? I'm confused.
3 times.
3 times.
He's seen him before.
Twice. What you want him to do?
He's seen him before. The second time. How many yards did Mac have?
I don't know.
Who cares?
145. He had 145 against that defense that I just spoke about. So when you see, all I'm saying is it's different.
But one of them was tipped. One of them was tipped, and then one of them was like a punt.
All I'm saying is it's different than throwing 267 against the Jets or throwing for like 2+ against the Jaguars.
Mac don't have to throw for 260 and 3 tubs to win a game. All we need Mac to do is manage the game. 145, you throw for 2 tubs, 145, 150, 200 yards. That's fine because we run the ball.
Control the clock.
Right, you already got us losing, so that's why you're saying we got to put it in Mac's hands because we down, so we got to throw.
He think it's gonna be a shootout, and he think the Bills
no, it's
gonna
not
be
going to
up,
be a
and he
shootout.
think we're gonna be playing from behind.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a shootout per se. What I'm saying is, I think the first half is going to be a chess match. However, I just look at it like if the Bills at the end of the first half is up by 6 or 10, I ain't gonna say 6. I don't think it's gonna be 10. If they're up by say 3 or 6 points, let's say 6, they're going into halftime at 6, and they just so happen to be the first to score a touchdown. That run game, I feel like you guys are going to be in trouble. I feel like at that point, you're going to have to put the ball in Mac's hand and say, okay, you're going to have to come out and do something. I don't think he can be able to do it. I hope you guys trust him.
So what if our defense show up? You know who the number 2 overall and the number 2 passing defense is, right? It's the New England Patriots.
I think your defense will do. I think your defense will do a good job. But the same tone that you had when you said Josh Allen.
Well, I mean, that's because I have respect for Josh Allen. I'm not blind. I'm not like you, and I'm not blind like, oh, Jamar. You should be worried. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon.
They got it all wrapped up.
Should fear you right now because that's a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
Only names that fear me is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I feel like we can hold our own against, even though I'm Cole Beasley. I will give some respect.
I said,
I'm just respecting the guys that I know can make plays.
With Burrow, when it comes to Burrow, just to kind of just touch on it, because since you brought it up with Burrow, as I stated, him and Chase, that big play is
more than that. It's more than them.
When I sit back and I look at Mixon, I feel like that's going to be the key. Is I want Mixon to get the ball personally. I don't want Burrow to have those opportunities to be up here gunslinging, even though he will. I just hope we have safety over the top. But let that go 30.
What about T. Higgins? T. Higgins is a big play down the field, big body receiver too. Like he makes the plays. If it ain't Chase, it's usually Higgins.
17 points a game. Number one.
Y'all put up 13 against the Bengals, and you over here talking about 17 points a game. Y'all need to get a little offense over there with your little Raiders, and you need to be worrying about what y'all gonna do. You talking about we ain't doing this and we ain't doing that right now. Derek Carr is a rookie in the playoffs. He coming into an atmosphere that he has never played in his years of being in the NFL. So let's not get on Mac and talk about Mac going to win the game. Let's see what Derek Carr does, since you think he's top 5 and all this statistics and all that. You know, the same
Mac
the same amount of touchdowns, and they got the same amount of touchdowns. I think
I'm cool with that. I don't
Mac
mind
under
him.
200.
That's cool. I hope he don't throw a lot.
Passing yards. Can I get that?
Put it on record for me, please. Under 200.
But I do.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
I will say the Bills need to do to win this game is they need to force turnovers. They need to get Mac Jones to turn the ball over. Josh Allen got to work his magic. He got to do his thing. And those Bills receivers just have to, do what they do, make plays. They got to get open. And then it would be great if Singletary's been playing well lately. So it'd be great if they could get the run game going, and that would really help them out a lot. And but I mean, if Josh Allen get out there,
is it me though? Is it me or sometimes Josh Allen in the cold, like when it's just super cold? Being that he's in Buffalo, it's like he underperforms sometimes. Like for me, that's the one thing when I do look at Josh Allen, I'm like, okay, I think y'all made a great point when you said stop the run. Because that's going to really be when it comes to the Bills offense, it's going to be him using his legs. Because for some reason in the cold weather, he just doesn't play to the standard that he plays earlier in the season. So, I feel like it's going to be a close game. I don't want to put a number to it, but I think it will be a game within it's going to be anywhere between, I have 10 to 13 points. I just have it going the Bills' way. And I just think it's going to be a situation to where eventually, and Mac may surprise me. If he surprised me, trust and believe, I'll be on here and I will give him all the high praises and I will let him know, like, look, job well done. But I just feel like the key, and I never know what Belichick is going to do, I'm going to be honest. But I just feel like the key will be, like y'all said, two-headed muscles, pound the ball, play action, and keep it short. Keep it dump downs, keep it inside, 15-yard passes and kind of slow the game up. But yeah, it's going to come down to Mac and and it's going. I say Mac. I don't want to say Josh Allen because I think he's going to do what he normally do. I think Mac is going to be the difference maker.
Well, better quarterback. We're gonna give it to the Bills. Coaching, the Patriots.
Definitely.
Defense, obviously on paper, obviously we can say the same thing. So we definitely, we'll definitely see what happens. Me's Patriots, Derrick Patriots, Trav.
Oh, I got a score for this.
I got my score 24-20 Patriots.
I got 2017 Patriots. Last game-winning drive. It's going to be tied 17-17. Mac Jones going to drive it down. I ain't going to say he going to score because I got too much respect for this Bills defense. But he will get us in field goal range. Nick Folk kicking for the field goal, and we're going to who we playing? The Chiefs. We gonna coach. I can't, but I don't want to speak on. We headed to Buffalo right now, so I'm not.
Yeah,
talking
one game at a time. One game at a time.
The AFC West is different. You hit state one game at a time. The AFC West is different. Take your time.
Definitely. Well, we see the matchups. Let's go to the NFC. Let's go to the NFC and bring in 49ers Cowboy. Let's get on that 49ers Cowboys. We actually doing good with time. Can you believe that? We moving and we talking. Cowboys, 49ers. 49ers had to win a big game against the Rams. 2 interceptions against Stafford. Debo obviously carrying that team. And congrats to Mees. Oh, look who we got, Mees and Trav. Congrats to Mees for winning our fantasy football league. He played a phenomenal game. It was down to the wire. Mees haven't
forgiven
too much
Adam to this day. Like, man. Yeah, that was a great game, man.
Hopefully you're getting good sleep
right
now, Trav. Hopefully you're getting some better sleep right now. I know you've been it took you about 48 hours to get over it, but I hope you get some good sleep. And Harper, we looking for you, man. We looking for you. I know he had a lot to say, but he had some things to do. But
let's talk
49ers
about
had to win.
Cowboys.
They had a big interception at the end. 49ers going into Dallas now. Dallas, peaking at the right time, had a good season. The offense kind of clicking.
What?
They're peaking at the right time. Oh, you don't think they're peaking?
I mean, they playing the damn third string Eagles and the Washington Potatoes or whatever their new mascot gonna be. I guess though, they are. So let's say they are.
Yeah.
But
well, since you got so much to say, obviously I don't think you. It seemed like you're leaning towards the 49ers. I mean, what you got to say?
I got the 49ers winning this game. And I mean, the 49ers are playing there. I think people, and even me, I watch them, and you look at them on paper, and you're like, okay, like on paper, they're really actually a pretty decent team statistically, and I think that they're getting healthy right now at the right time, and I think that their ceiling they have a high ceiling. Like they have a ceiling of they can score points just like what the Cowboys can do. But I think that run game, I mean, the way the 49ers play, they play bully ball, and they're going to try to run that ball. They're going to try to run it. Eli Mitchell might get 20 plus carries. Debo might get 10, and I think that zone run scheme blocking, you run behind Trent Williams, you get that going, and then they have some. I mean, I think they're really an underestimated offense when you look at it. They have some big play guys from Eli Mitchell to Debo to Kittle to even Ayuk. They're all big play. You can give them a screen and they might take it all the way, or if you give them a slant, they might take it all the way. I just hope that the Cowboys defense can tackle, because Debo Samuel don't go down easy, and I mean Kittle don't go down easy. So I just think that they're meeting the wrong team. The 49ers are getting healthy, especially on defense. You got Bosa, Eric Armstead. If they get it going on Dak ain't like Dak like to run the ball, run out, get outside the pocket. So if they can get after Dak Prescott it's gonna be a ugly because that the Cowboys run, they can run the ball, but it ain't like Zeke is the best. Pollard gonna have to get it going for him. And I mean, I just see the 49ers running the
sound like you
ball.
all in on San Francisco.
Oh, I'm all in on San Francisco. I'm all in.
Mm,
I'm all in. I just don't trust the Cowboys. They're gonna have to show me
that's
that
true.
they can win. I don't trust them, and I'm not impressed by what I've seen. You beat up on the Eagles, third string, Gardner Minshew, and them, and you beating up on the Washington. I mean, I'm not impressed. I want to see what they're going to do against this defense who's playing better, getting healthier. If D'Amico Ryans, he better not man up though. I don't like. He better not man up, but I know he will. But so it'll be a high scoring game though. But I just see the 49ers coming out, establishing the run. If Jimmy G can limit the turnovers, and if
High
they can
scoring, man. Ain't no defense.
if they can get after Dak Prescott, that's true. I mean, or just get after Dak and make it hard on them. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Definitely got to get some pass rush on Dak, kind of control him, keep him in there, keep him unbalanced, and keep him off his game. Like I said earlier, the Cowboys offense, they had a decent season. Cooper had about 9 touchdowns. You had 1,000-yard.
They're the number one
receiver,
offense.
number one offense in the NFL. But like me said, I don't know if I trust them too much. We've been in this situation too much and too long, and we already know what the outcome has been for the last 20 to 30, 20 to plus years. And when they had their last good season, 13-3, they lost, I think, at home to the Rams. And they was up in that game, and then they came back and lost. So we'll see what happens. The defense will be tested. Jimmy G has to play a good game. Jimmy G has to play a good game. He has to get that offense going. I think you got a lot of weapons that you can use. Kittle, Debo. I like the way Shanahan is using Debo in the run game and kind of using him to be a running back and, throwing something different at the defense. And then you got Mitchell. And, the 49ers are going to run the ball. We already know that. They'll use 3 or 4 running backs.
Right. That's what they do.
You know what I mean? So I think Bosa will be big, and he got to play big, and that defensive front got to play big. But the one thing that kind of, shakes me and, puts me on edge is the secondary for the 49ers. Right. Hopefully they can contain some of these playmakers that the Cowboys have. And, if they play a solid game and that front can give them a little push and, make it a little easier for them, then I think the 49ers have a chance to win. It should be a good one. I think people, thinking it's just the 49ers, they counting, the 49ers out. So we'll see what happens. And hopefully we can get a win for the 49ers, because I do not like the Cowboys and I do not want them to win because I'm tired of their fans. I'm tired of them.
That's funny. Yeah, if we're gonna let's speak on the Cowboys, for them, what I think that they need to do to win. I mean, I think of course they need that they rely heavily on that defense. That defense has to get
and those turnovers. I think
turnovers.
Leading the I think
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I know they're up there because the defense is ranked I think the defense is ranked 7. But they're ranked 7, but they're like number 20 in the passing defense. So it doesn't make, and they're number 16 in rushing over. So it's just like it's got to be turnovers. That's what I look at. I say, well, how are they number 7 and they? But it's like it's got to be turnovers. So they do generate a lot of turnovers. That's just off eye test. I can tell you that. So they have to do that. And if they can do that, as well as find a way that a lot of people haven't found a way to do, is to stop Deebo Samuel, because he is the 49ers spark plug. If you notice in games, he doesn't usually get going till later in the game. It's like he kind of just, they don't get him going till later. And that's usually when they start scoring points. 49ers always usually start off slow and then they pick it up. They go as the game. Jimmy G will throw an early game turnover or something, and it'll look like, oh, the 49ers are going to lose. And this thing, it's like the defense turns the switch on, the offense turns the switch on, and they get the ball to who? To Deebo Samuel, and he just gets it going.
Make a play, make a play, and make us happy.
And protect Dak from Bosa. That's what you got to protect from Bosa and Armstead and Greenlaw and all them boys. You got to protect them from them or otherwise. Because when Dak gets a little bit of pressure and he starts to feel that you hit him a couple times, he starts to get a little shaky in the pocket. And that's when you see Dak Prescott that might put up 17, 20 points. And that ain't good if he do that. I don't think 17 to 20 going to do it for them to win this game. They're going to have to do more than that. So, but yeah, that's what I think the Cowboys need to do. Parsons gotta have to go after Jimmy. Don't have him back there spying and doing all that extra. You need to send him after. Let him go. Let that boy go get.
Just
Jimmy
don't put him in coverage.
Yeah, don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't try all this pretty stuff, DQ. Dan, if you're watching our show, Dan Quinn, don't put.
Y'all don't think he can cover like he okay? He decent.
He decent ain't gonna
He's
cover.
all right, but we saw what Tom Brady did to him.
Like, and Jimmy G ain't no slack. Jimmy G can read and he gets the ball out fast. He doesn't. That's his goal. Like, he's not trying to hold the ball. So he a product of Tom Brady now. Come on, and Bill Belichick. So he know what he's doing. But yeah, go travel. What you think? What you got on this
game? And he's played in the Super Bowl too, so he got some playoff experience. He knows what the atmosphere gonna be out. Hopefully that hand is doing better, and hopefully they ain't got to go to Trey Lance. So if he can stay healthy, finish the game, and no turnovers, Jimmy, no turnovers.
Or one, you can do at least one. Just make it early. You gotta do it early.
That one can flip the game. I'm trying to tell y'all that one.
Well, it depends. It depends on when it's done, because you can always get momentum back.
They up 7-0. Then like you see what happened with Matt.
But we got back in that game.
They went up 7-0.
You talking about Miami?
Yeah, they went up 7-0. Then they had a pick six.
Well, that's
because need that.
Penalties messed us up in that game.
That's fine, but we don't need that. You down 14-0, now you got to climb back. We don't need that. What you about to say, Trav, about this game?
And I say with this game, I just like throw the numbers out the window. This is like one of those eye test games. I feel like Dallas, they look very impressive this year. But the level of competition, I sit back and try to look at their wins. I try to sit back and say, okay, like the strength of schedule to me is just not anywhere close to what the San Francisco 49ers had to kind of deal with throughout the year. Just you can just start with the division itself.
Good point.
But I started off early when I seen the matchups. I said this is an easy win for Dallas, and I think I was looking at it in the lens of like Jimmy G versus Dallas defense. But the more I look at this game, I'm still leaning towards Dallas. I will say that, but I think it's going to really come down. Everybody's saying it's going to be Deebo, versus Diggs. I think Parsons is going to have to keep an eye on Deebo more than Diggs will. I think because if you really look at Diggs out the backfield, step routes, slant routes, he like to come across the middle. Like he literally like to play in Parsons' zone. So I feel like that's going to be something to keep an eye on. I don't think I heard anyone even speak of that. But yes, I want you to keep an eye on that one. Jimmy G is just inconsistent for me. I think that's why I have to go with Dallas. I think Dallas defense, yes, they do give up yardage. Yes, you look at Diggs and, I think I looked at it the other day. All of us actually kind of looked at it and spoke about it. How Diggs, yes, he has 11 interceptions, but he's given up the most yardage this year. So it's going to come down to if Jimmy G really going to try to test Diggs, or is he going to try to play keep away from Diggs? And I think personally he should test him, but I don't think Jimmy G is going to really kind of do it too much or too often, because like Derrick said, a turnover in the playoffs, especially against a high-powered offense like Dallas, you don't want that. Because let's be honest, Kittle, he's a dog. He's my number 2 tight end. Really can be. He's like 1B. But then I turn around and I say, okay, who else do they really have that can be able to match up when you talk about offense to offense? Like, yes, you got Debo. Any given time, like you said, he can break one loose. Like, but are you really banking on a Debo 1, 2, 3 plays versus what Dallas is going to give you every single possession? I feel like even when
49ers
Dallas
have playmakers, 49ers have. Think I play. Eli Mitchell is a very good running back.
I do. You know what?
And he's a big play guy.
I do like Eli Mitchell, but when I sit back and you say, okay, every possession Dallas is going to, even if they don't score, they're going to move the ball. They're going to basically kind of try to control the game, control the tempo. I like when they run a little no huddle offense. Like when they get into that zone, Dak is great. He doesn't have to think much. It's just basically he does what he needs to do. And I think the difference in this game, and actually for Dallas moving forward, is going to be Pollard. Like Pollard is going to be the guy. Like Zeke, he's really not. He's like Mike. He's like a Mike All-Star to me now. Like he just, give me 3 yards, give me the ball at the 2-yard line, and just pound it in. Like he's not giving you what you really need. He's Mike All-Star to me right now. Like Pollard is the guy. He's running in between tackles, catches on the flat. Like you can do a lot more with him. I think Dallas actually is starting to realize that. Good thing Zeke done got paid because he happy. He ain't tripping.
Trade Zeke.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he got his money, so he like, look, I'm all right. Look, Pollard, do your thing. I think Lamb is gonna have to have a big day. He's been dropping a lot of balls lately. So all in all, I think Dallas is a better team. I feel like San Francisco, they play a level of competition that Dallas hasn't yet to really play. So I think they will be prepared when you look at them having to go through, have to play a Rams twice, and then have to play them to actually, get in their position. Like, so I think they'll match up pretty well. I just think all in all, I trust Dak over Jimmy G.
Right.
Yeah, at the time now. But the one who has the more experience is Jimmy. And so, we could, if you're going to put experience over, I guess, the better quarterback, you could say Jimmy.
Do y'all think
I
that,
guess
like,
from this year, you might could say that.
Do y'all think Dak is having like an off year? Like, I feel like he's doing okay. I feel like he's playing to their strengths. Like, a lot of people say they want to see him throw down the field more. They want to do a lot more. But sometimes, like, it's just like with y'all in the Patriots. Sometimes you don't have to do too much. You know what I mean? Play within the offense. I feel like that's what he's doing this year. But, everybody thinks he's having a down year. But I guess.
I mean, no, Dak's having a good year. He's not. He's just. It's kind of like it seems like he's flying under the radar a little bit. So it's like, or like nobody's kind of paying, but Dak's having a good year. It's just that when you look at some of the games like that they should, like it's like he's trickling. Like at the beginning of the year, he was having a really good year, but now it's like ever since that calf injury against the Patriots, it's kind of like he's just been looking a little shaky.
It's like everybody put him at top 5, like he's a top 5 quarterback. Right. So it's like you got to put him with the elites at that point. Like, is he really on the level of Brady? Tom, Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
I don't think he's definitely not there.
Underperforming in some games maybe that he's supposed to win.
Tier 3.
You said what?
Probably a tier 3 quarterback. I mean, he had a great year. Almost 4,500 passing yards, 37 and 10. He had a great year. I mean, they won the NFC least. So, I mean, what more do they want from him? Maybe because he beat some good teams, and he led them against us and beat us in the playoffs. I meant beat us in the overtime, but and then beat the Chargers and beat some other teams, but. I mean, he has some decent games. I guess it's some things that, in certain games that he could have done better. Or they might see, you know what I mean?
Like it's games like against the Broncos. It's just like, all right, dog. Like
the Broncos was just on one that day. They was just like,
I mean,
if Teddy throwing to Tim Patrick for touchdowns and he ain't good, then I mean, you got a long day ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know.
So we going. Who you got, Mies?
I got the 49ers winning. And I mean, I got them winning. And you can, if we do them looking at the line, it's Dallas -3. So you could do the money line, or you could do +3. Because I mean, I think the 49ers are gonna cover that 3 points. I think it's gonna be more than 3. I got them winning at least 10 points, but at least a touchdown. Set a touchdown to 10 points. Never mind. That -3 do look kind of good now. The 3. Because 49ers don't usually blow out teams. It usually comes down to the wire.
Down to the wire, yeah.
So it might go down to the wire. But I got the 49ers winning.
Trav got the Cowboys. I'm going to go. The Cowboys better team. Do I want them to win? Hell no. So I think the Cowboys will win this game. And we'll see them in the divisional round, and they'll lose then. But I do not want them to win. If they lose Saturday, whenever they play,
I wouldn't be upset if they lost. If they lost, I'd probably be happy myself. But I just feel like they good for one win. They're good.
I'm ready for them to put the shirts.
We'll see.
Put the hoodies.
Tough team they playing.
Put the jerseys all in the closet until next
season.
This ain't no cakewalk
all year, though, Mies.
This ain't no.
You've been high on them all year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been watching them all year, and I mean, they are a better team than what people think they are because they haven't been healthy. Like the 40, and I mean, they've been hurt in different spots, and so they're getting healthy right now. And I think that their ceiling, they have a higher ceiling than what people think. And it's up there with the Cowboys. I think I think people just put so much.
They definitely got more dog in them than Cowboys.
Exactly. They
got more dog in them now.
Thank you. Yeah. And I mean, like you said, they played better competition throughout the year. They've been tested. They know, I just think that they just gonna come out. It's just, I don't know. I'm not impressed. Just like I'm not impressed by the Bills, I'm not impressed by the Cowboys. I'm just not. They just don't, like, for what everybody makes them out to be and what everybody, the expectations and what you hear and you see numbers. I just don't see it when I look at them on the field. I don't see, of course I see it when they playing the Giants and the third string Eagles, like I've been saying, and the freaking who else is in it? The Washington, I see it. The Falcons, I see it. But when you playing
that division is hard to really get an idea of how good
the
they
game.
are. Like,
exactly.
When I sit here and look at their wins, that's the only thing. I look at their wins and I'm just like, are they as good as we think they are? But the talent is there, so it's like you can't deny the talent. But it's just like I don't know.
But
if it's a close game, I think Dallas needs to be up in the fourth quarter. I think if it's a real close game, if it's a dog fight, I think that's going to definitely benefit San Francisco.
Yeah, I think Cowboys fans are kind of sleeping on this 49er team, and I mean, if they in the playoffs, you can't sleep on them now. Like, you can't sleep on no team that's in. It's the playoffs. They made it, so you can't sleep. Even like Raiders, Patriots, anybody, you can't sleep on them. They in the playoffs now. You gotta respect them. You're right, Steelers. You gotta have
the NFC is just deep. Like, that's going to be exciting. That side is going to be exciting.
Yeah, what's the next game we okay? Yeah,
Eagles Bucks. I will be traveling to the game, and I will be going down there to cover the Eagles versus.
I wonder if my station taking anybody to the 49ers.
So we'll see what happens.
Won't be me, but
we'll see what happens in Tampa. It's supposed to be raining Sunday. That's what I hope don't happen. Hopefully that clears out. You know how Florida gets rain one day. Rain 15 minutes, and then next thing you know, it's sunshine. But Eagles Bucks, let's touch on this. Then we got one more thing, and then we can wrap it up. But Eagles Bucks, Eagles, started off a little rocky, 2-5. came back, won about 6 in a row. Now you 9-7 in the playoffs. 10-7 on one of them in the playoffs, and then you get to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do they have a chance? Do they have a chance?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
yes. You know what?
You feeling confident with this one?
This one, and I'm gonna credit Mees to this because like he really been the guy that kind of been like, look, Hurts is not Hurts like that. He's been saying it, and then he had me looking at look at the run game, look at Sanders. So like,
hold on. He said what?
Look at the run game.
First of all, he was not high on Wentz the year before. Now he came with Wentz.
I was high on Wentz.
Now he sees.
You mean Hurts?
He makes.
Hurts. Yeah.
Hurts.
You know,
yeah,
like,
no. Let me clear the record real quick.
You know what?
I've always I wanted Jalen Hurts for my Patriots. Y'all forget that.
Listen. You said that, but you didn't get him, and then you started. No. And
that's because y'all tried to
I tried to compare the two, and I said
because he lost me some money. But
that ain't why.
I've never really said Hurts was trash in the sense. I just said he's not better than Carson Wentz. That's because y'all tried to say I've always
saying he was better.
Comparison. Like y'all tried to say he's doing bad, and I was like, well, yeah, because
he is. That's a fact.
I said now when he plays in the offense, and when Wentz played, the offense is different. He's playing better, and you can see a difference in the offense. That's all the argument was.
Where's Wentz at, by the way?
He's talking better than this. He's at home.
Oh man. Okay.
But I've apologized to Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Jalen. You my dog.
Man, that Jalen.
My dog.
I'm gonna show him this. I'm gonna show him this when I get down.
Honestly, I feel like I really don't have no real legitimate reason. It's just more of a gut feeling that this game is gonna be much closer than what people think. Like Hurts, and I'm not sure if it's that Saban pedigree, but like he understands how to control a game. Hurts, when you watch him and watch other quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks or first year, second year quarterbacks, it's like his composure. You know, when you watch him, he's even keeled throughout, and I like that about him. And I think Philly kind of figured out, like, look, we can protect him by running the ball. Our offensive line is not that bad when we run the ball. So I feel like if you look at Philadelphia on the back end of the season, like the Eagles is actually a good team. To me personally, I feel like they're the best team in their division, even though it didn't show by record. I feel like right now, with everything going on in Tampa, like, yes, they don't really need AB. Like Brady is that guy. You know, Tom Terrific is the best to ever get behind center. However, he's a little older. His arm is there, but it's not all the way there. Evans, he's been banged up. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. Gronk, he's going to definitely show up. But that Tampa defense is not the same. It's not the championship defense that all decided to take the pay cuts, come back, and run it back. I feel like the secondary has lost a step. The linebacker is still moving, but teams aren't afraid to run the ball on them. Teams aren't afraid to actually be aggressive against them. And one thing with the Eagles, I feel like they come into this situation with nothing to lose. And I think that's
underdog mentality.
Underdog mentality. And it's just
they're
like
bringing that back out.
I feel like I can't see Tom Brady losing this early. I can't see it, but I feel it.
Well,
and I feel like the Eagles
this last season when he lost to Tennessee.
Yeah, I just feel like with the Eagles, it's their chance. Like, it's their chance to really come out there, be aggressive, run the ball, Hurts, use your legs, my brother. Use your legs. If he do that, I think they got a chance. Like, that's just how I see it. I feel like the Eagles will pull it off.
Well, I this is probably the one game where it's just it's people think it's just kind of like just okay, black and white, like kind of similar to like the Steelers and the Chiefs. Like,
Correct.
okay, yeah, this should be easy win.
Easy.
But this is like the game where I really can't call because I'm like Trav. It's like a gut feeling. I've been watching this Eagles team play all year basically. Like I really have been watching them play, and I mean they kind of lose a lot of games because they just they make mistakes. It's similar to what my Patriots do, and this comes from having a young quarterback. Somebody calling this, but a young quarterback and trying to hold on something. Having a young somebody was calling, but having a young quarterback and just trying to,
you got your house phone hooked up to your laptop?
No, this is my wife's laptop. So somebody calling her phone. Yeah. So I mean, I just think that they have to. You got to run the Bucks. Still are hard to run the ball on, but you have to run the ball. That's what you're good at. You're the number 2 rushing offense in the league. You have to run it. And I think that Jalen Hurts has to run the ball because the Bucks don't do well. They do okay, but they're not as good against running quarterbacks. So you have to do that. And then I think you have to exploit. The Bucks aren't the best, like Trav said, this year in passing, defense. They lost Antoine Winfield Jr. And I mean, they just had a lot of injuries. And I think that you have to, do what the Eagles are somewhat kind of tailor-made because when they do throw the ball, they throw it down the field. They're throwing it to Goddard down the field, Devontae Smith down the field for the most part, Quez Watkins down the field. And that's what you got to attack. You got to do that. You got to throw the ball downfield. Then when you get into the red zone, run it in, run the ball, run it. But I mean, it's just I think the Eagles can win this game. They played this year, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't remember how the game went, but I looked at the score and they only lost by like 3 points. I don't know if it was, so they not gonna just, I don't think they're gonna come in and get ran over. Tom Brady doesn't have his usual guys. He doesn't have Godwin, doesn't have AB, and I mean Mike Evans is banged up. And Cyril Grayson's banged up. I don't even know if he practiced today. So he's going in there with Perriman. I mean, you running Ronald Jones isn't playing. I mean, so it's a lot,
Is Fournette supposed to play this week?
Yeah, he's supposed to be back.
Oh, dang. I didn't know Fournette goes. Yeah, I forgot about Fournette.
He's supposed to be back. I know Rojo is doubtful, though.
Yeah, Rojo's doubtful. So we'll see what Fournette can give, but it's going to be tough for both teams. But I mean, Brady, I don't like. I try not to doubt Brady anymore. But I did last year, and it blew up in my face. But I mean, he doesn't have the same weapons. He still has weapons. Still has Gronk. Still has those tight ends. But I don't know. It's just this is a tough one to call. For
the one thing Brady knows how to do is dump the ball down.
Right.
That's the one thing he knows how to do.
He gets the ball out. He gets the ball out. Get the ball.
It's a saying that people say, never bet against Brady.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's been going on for years
used to
now.
Be the Pats. It used to be don't Pats good money. Don't bet against.
But I'll say,
now it's Brady. Yeah.
Knowing this Eagles team, good O-line. You got to run a game. You got a young quarterback. The front four of the defense is good.
Right.
You got Slay, who can. He's had a good year this year. He should be a Pro Bowler. But you got a young coach, and some of the things that he did this season, and some of the calls that he made, it wasn't good in the beginning of the season. So hopefully he don't come out here and switch up the game plan and do something totally different than what got you here and what was winning you games. Eagles can't come out and start slow. They started slow against Washington. They started slow some other games before that too.
Giants.
Giants game when it was
Panthers.
3-3. Was it 3-3.5 or 0-0.5 1 or 2?
It was some low. Panthers, they started off slow. It's just like, they do start off slow.
They were starting off slow, and they have to get it going late in the games, and then, get a couple of stops, and then, here we go. We didn't score, but we got field goal, so we up 1 now, and then, All right, we come back and then we got another field goal. So they
49ers.
got to start off. They got to start off quick. Defense got to be in Brady face all night. Their front four got to be tremendous because you know what pressure does to Brady. Brady doesn't have most of his weapons. I mean, you down Godwin, you probably got your go-to. What you're gonna see most of the game is Evans and Gronk. And then if Fournette can go, he had a hamstring. How much can he give you? What percentage is he? Can he still do what he did at the beginning of the season? And be that Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny, as some people call him, right? To see if he can give you that. So it's gonna be I said I don't know if it's gonna be I say it's gonna be a tough game for the Eagles. One, because it's Brady. Brady does respect the Eagles, obviously, from that Super Bowl, which is still in his head. And the Eagles, Jalen Hurts just gotta come out and play a poised game and do what you've been doing, like the Broncos game, and do what you did against Washington. You might have had some interceptions, or you might have had some 3 and outs, but you came back and you was a fighter, and that's what he liked to do. He liked to win, and he liked to do his thing. So we're gonna see what happens. Hurts just got to play a good game, and the Eagles got to catch the ball. Like Rager, you got to catch the ball. when your name is called, you got to come up and be big and play. But the Eagles team is a little quirky a little bit.
You don't know what you're gonna get from them.
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah.
And sometimes they can go out there and play like a great game, and then sometimes they can just go out there and play a trash game, or it can be like a 13-9, but they had opportunities to score. That's just like the Seahawks game when Wentz went down and they was in the playoffs. And then they had what's your boy? Was it Josh? What's the 40-year-old quarterback that came?
McCown.
McCown.
Yeah.
The one
he
good
came
thing,
in.
though,
you had chances to win that game, but you couldn't make a play, and you couldn't get in the end zone and get points. So that's this thing. But they're going in with the underdog mentality. We'll see what happens. And am I going Eagles? I guess I can't really say because people watch. But no, I'm not going Eagles. Tampa Bay gonna win this game, and they're gonna have a good ride or fight back to Philadelphia.
It's gonna be a good atmosphere out there, man.
It'll be good. I'll put some stuff on my social, and obviously I'll bring some stuff back for the show, and we can put it on here. We got one more game. Rams, Cardinals. Rams, tough defense. Cardinals, tough defense. King Cup, as he called him. Stafford, who's been horrible in games. Can he actually do it and put it on the back and get him to a Super Bowl? I mean, Jared Goff did it, but we see that Stafford in the last couple of weeks really haven't been playing well, throwing interceptions and things like that. So what do y'all see in this game? Who you got? And who's going to win this? Because I think whoever win this could go to the Super Bowl. We'll see.
I have the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I've kind of stuck with them all year. I like Arizona. I feel like Murray. That's like one of my favorite quarterbacks right now at the moment. However, when Hopkins went down, I sat back and I'm looking at him. And I'm like, man, like Arizona just kind of the roof fell off. I don't know what happened with them. So I sat back and I feel like they didn't come into the playoffs on an up and up. Like the way they came into the playoffs, even though the Rams haven't really been the best eye candy per se, they still stay true to who they are. Like they play tough games. They're going to put some points up on the board. And truthfully speaking, they played good. It just Stafford is the one that kind of been, I'm not going to say shine away from the moment, but it's definitely been a lot of talk about the Rams. The pressure has been definitely getting tighter and tighter. And I feel like, at this moment, this is going to have to be the game to really propel them to go to the Super Bowl. if I had to sit back and say what I like about the Cardinals, if they were to pull this game off, I feel like Murray would just have to use his legs. I feel like if he uses legs, they're going to be beneficial. They will be able to at least open the field up. Their defense haven't been playing to the best of their abilities. But long story short, I feel like the Rams just have too much firepower. When you add Beckham into the mix, like OBJ, he's been playing great since he came over to the Rams. If you just look at what he did and what he was doing in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield, and then he come over here with Stafford, it's like he's a whole new man, So I feel like if I had to, just put a number to this game, I can definitely see it being a high-scoring shootout. And I can see both teams in the 30s. If I have to say a number, I say 34-31, coming down to the wire. And I feel like Stafford will be the one to actually pull it off. I have trust in him. This is not Detroit. He's in lovely LA. I think they're gonna be all right.
You believe in a Stafford? Wow.
I'm gonna have to, because I feel like when you look at what he had when you say, okay, look what he had Megatron in Detroit, but like this is really like when all around, like when Cup look, King Cup is just that guy. Like, let's just put it out there. He's that guy. If you put Cooper Kupp up against Adams right now, I would have to give, even though statistically he's had a better year, I would have to say he's my guy. Just simply because when you look at the connection that him and Kupp has, like for some reason, Kupp is always open. Like, always open. And I just feel like Stafford has never had this type of potential going into, the back end of a season, going with the coaching staff, McVay. He's going to be the difference maker if you really want to know the truth of me. Like, is he going to fold under pressure like he did last year? What is he like? He's going to be the one that has to stay true to the game plan. And I think, hopefully, he don't get ahead of himself like he did last year. But ultimately, I got the Rams, man. I'm going to stay true with them going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Well,
Rams to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yes.
This is a tough game. To kind of read, because it's going to come down to me, to which quarterback doesn't make the most mistakes. You got two quarterbacks that I don't know what I'm gonna get. The ceiling is high, but the floor is also kind of low. Like, you don't know what you're going to get, and it's going to come down to me to which QB isn't going to put their defense in as many bad situations as possible, because both of these offenses, even without DeAndre Hopkins, the Cardinals are still explosive, and the Rams, we all know the Rams are an explosive offense too. So, I mean, it's going to come down to defense. And I mean, I think the Rams should win. I think they got more play. They have more playmakers on offense, and I think they have more playmakers also on defense right now currently. And I mean, I don't know. This is going to be the third time that they played this year, so it's not going to be nothing that they're not gonna. It's nothing that they haven't seen.
They know each other.
So they know each other. They know each other very well. So it's just, I mean, it's gonna come down to who doesn't to the quarterbacks, because they're both shaky. They're really good, but they also can be really bad. And so if Kyler is getting sacked and can't see over the line, and Stafford throwing pick sixes and throwing interceptions, and he looking like Detroit Matt Stafford, then it's I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm gonna lean to the Rams just because you got OBJ, you got Kupp, you got Sony Michel. I don't even know if Darrell Henderson's back, but you also got Cam Akers, you got Higbee, versus the Cardinals. They got Connor, Edmonds, Kirk. I'm not, that's not.
It's gonna be on Kyler. It's on him.
Right. It's gonna be on Kyler Murray to do a lot. And I don't, this is first time in the playoffs. So it's a lot of pressure. And I mean, Kyler Murray ain't really the type to handle pressure very well too. So I'm gonna lean Rams, and I'm gonna trust Sean McVay, and I'm gonna trust that Rams defense to get after Kyler Murray and Jalen. It ain't like he going against DeAndre Hopkins. He's not even gonna have to shadow anybody. That defense just needs to lock it up, and I think they'll be fine. So we'll see. Even though Jalen Ramsey ain't been having the best year, but we'll see how that goes. So.
I'm gonna let that one go. I
mean, he hasn't.
He don't want to say nothing about that. But they want to when he do good, they want to. Oh, he did that. It is. He did it is.
What has he like? You know what? It's on you, Derek. We're gonna playoff time.
Kyler wasn't good in the last game they played. I think he threw like 2 interceptions that game, no touchdowns. And the first game, obviously, they killed the Rams. They looked like the team that was 8-0 and was playing good football until injuries happened. And now you got your playmaker, your go-to guy, your bread and butter, DeAndre Hopkins, probably out for this game. And now who you lean on? Do you lean on the AJ Green? Do you lean on Moore? Do you lean on Connor? I don't know if Edmonds is back, but do you lean on Edmonds? You know, we'll see what they kind of map up and see what kind of offense they're gonna come out there and kind of put together. And then you got the Rams defense. That's probably the front four is probably you can consider one of the best in the NFL. Then you got Ramsey, that's a top 3 or if not the best cornerback in the league. I don't think that. But you got playmakers, and then I think they just brought back your boy out of retirement. Hopefully, we don't know what he's gonna give you.
The Rams passing defense isn't that good this year. They're number 22.
It's a lot of names. It's the defense in general. It's a lot of names right now.
But the pass rush is good. They got a 53% pass rush rate, win rate, and they're also good at stopping the run too, winning against the run. So that front seven is pretty legit. But it's just that if they don't get that pressure, then that back, the defensive backs, they can't hold their own. And since Jalen Ramsey can probably hold his own, I'm not gonna act like Jalen Ramsey can't hold his own. But the rest is as a core, they're not holding their own as good, but they do play good against the run, the Rams. So we'll see. If
it's an even matchup,
the Cards can throw the and then even down to the coaches, Kingsbury and McVay, they're so similar in that they're offensive-minded coaches and they're young and they just got this forward way of thinking and things like that. So it's going to be a very good game. I think I'm not too excited about this game, but I did have the Rams in the Super Bowl, but now I've changed. I think the Packers. I think the Packers are coming out of the NFC.
I ain't trusting the Packers. They did me wrong last year. They did me wrong last year.
I trust A-Rod. I trust Devontae.
He had 3 chances last year and couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, I know.
In the second half,
A-Rod,
you just needed to make a play. That's all.
It's something about the playoffs. It's something about the playoffs. I'm not going to be the one that is going right and say the playoffs is too big for him. I don't think that whatsoever. But the discount, double check the guy, like
last dance, man. Last dance. It's the last dance.
We're gonna definitely see. I just feel like with this Rams game, the one thing I do want to see, honestly, I want to see the Sony versus Connor matchup. I want to see that Russian battle, and I think whoever win that battle may win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll Connor's a touchdown machine, though. I'll give him that. That boy is a red zone TD machine.
Kyler gonna have to pull out something crazy.
He gonna have to run
make something happen in that game and actually play a good game and no turnovers. And we're gonna see what Stafford can do.
115, 2 tubs. King
Who's
Cup.
That? Oh, okay.
King Cup. 115, 2 touchdowns. I'm calling it now.
Cup nice.
He had a great season.
He had a really good
Did he break
season.
that record?
Nah, he came short. He was like 30, 40 yards short, I think.
Yeah, but he led the league in receiving yards
and
Definitely
touchdowns.
Did.
This is the thing, like
I think so.
I'm still to this day trying to figure. I need to see his 40 time. I don't believe he's
Well,
46.
He's a quarterback, so I mean, he was a former quarterback, so he knows how to read defenses,
Man,
and so he knows how to find those windows and those.
it's the crossing routes. That's what it is.
Things like that. He knows how to
those crossing
manipulate.
routes,
He's very good at it, and then him and Stafford are roommates, so they probably just work all the time and just talk and just look at film, and I mean, he's just taking advantage of.
Give me the ball.
Of that, yeah. I mean, but I mean, you can't. It ain't like it ain't like he, this. He was doing it with golf too. So
he's a lifer. He's a fantasy lifer.
Doing these numbers with golf now.
No, he won't. But I mean, he was still putting up decent numbers with golf. A couple on my radar. But I mean, I'm number one pick this year.
Where's golf at now? Where's golf at now?
Golf
you
at
talking
home.
about in fantasy
with 2 wins? When he had 2 wins?
Oh, at home.
2. Look, man. So I tell you, like,
golf. I'm thinking, golf. Man, that's Detroit. Detroit won't good. You seen Amon St. Brown just now coming around, and D Swift. Like, it wasn't. That ain't on golf. Golf actually played pretty decent for what for what he had. That won't golf. Let's not.
How did Wentz play? Did he play decent to you?
Wentz played okay. Wentz had actually a pretty decent season this year.
Season, but he caught some games too.
But I mean, you're not expecting
when it mattered most,
to go out
win.
there.
I feel like if you're
a quarterback, make mistakes.
If you're a quarterback and your running back is giving you 115, 120, you better have a decent season. What you gonna do when he's not give you 100? That's how I looked at Wentz this year. What are you gonna do when your running back can't give you the 100?
Who was Wentz throwing the ball to though? Who did he have to throw?
Pittman.
So what do you have Pittman ranked?
T.Y. some games
out of all these.
The last
T.Y.
game.
Really? T.Y. Hilton?
Deep threat.
Last season. Like
go route.
Pascal wasn't even there the whole season. I mean, you got these guys aren't
who Hurts
throw to? Who do Hurts throw the ball to?
Hurts, Dallas Goedert is better than any receiver that.
Who else? Name another
team. Devontae Smith.
Dallas dropped the ball too.
Give me Devontae Smith over Michael Pittman any day of the week. In real life, give me Dallas Goedert over anybody besides Jonathan Taylor. Like, Jonathan Taylor is amazing. That's the only weapon that Wentz had. So it's just like you got
that's the perfect
Michael
weapon,
Pittman, really? Michael Pittman, really?
That's the perfect weapon. When you have defenses putting 8 in the box as a quarterback, that's all you can dream of.
Right. No, definitely. But I mean, I'm not saying Wentz is perfect. I watched him against my Patriots, and we could have won. We were plays away from taking that game because if we would have caught like 2 interceptions, he threw 2 passes, hit the hands of the defenders. I'm like, oh my God, this is like I said.
Give me Mac over Wentz. Give me.
I would take Mac Jones over Carson Wentz. I definitely would. Now, before I would.
But you wouldn't take Jalen Hurts over.
But that was at the time. I would take Jalen Hurts. I said, give me Jalen Hurts now. Like, I've said that. But I mean, I'm just.
The offensive line look good, don't it, me?
Well, offensive line.
Philly offensive line look good.
Well, they are healthier now. They are healthy. They are. Well, they weren't healthy last year. Derrick can attest to that. They had Jason Peters, who's hurt
still missing
now.
One of their guys. They still missing one of their guys.
Jason and Lane, they was out, and they was like vets. And then they got Mailata in the draft. He's amazing. He's one of the better offensive linemen in the league. Jordan Mailata. He's like
he just learned how to play football.
Deal. Yeah, he big deal. So, like, it ain't like this the same old line they came in. Lane Johnson's healthier, and he got off his little his mental illness.
But you got to look at the plays that were turnovers.
And it's new coaching too.
You got to look at the plays that were turnovers and look and see how that play actually unfolded. Holding the ball, not making the right reads.
But why was he holding the ball, though?
Trying to overdo it.
Who was he throwing to in Philly? Travis Fulgham. He was throwing it. Where he at right now? He got a like y'all act like Wentz was out there
You got to
throwing
think
to
about it.
Mike Evans.
I don't even think it was more about who he was throwing it to. It was like.
Did you say the same
You
thing when
just-
Tom Brady had this last year in the Patriots?
Tom Brady was 40-something years old. That's why I said it. I thought the age caught up with
Wentz have a problem. He has a problem just dumping it down. A lot of these quarterbacks have a problem. They feel like it's something wrong. Like I call it the Brady way. Like just dump it to your running back. You know what I'm saying? Dump them to sleep and then go up top. Like nowadays, I think everybody's so big on the long ball. You know what I mean? It's like they got that Steph Curry syndrome in the NFL. It's like they got to try to go deep all the time. And like,
Wentz just can't make reads. He has a problem with reading. With Brady in that last year, it was a physical. It looked like he couldn't get the ball to where it needed to be most of the time. But with Wentz, Wentz makes bad reads, and you just like, bro, what are you doing? All the time. Yeah, he does. I will say that. And this year he was making bad reads, and I was just like, bro, you got your O-line. You got one of the better O-lines in the league. You got, it shouldn't be that hard.
I know one thing. I better not see Carr throw the ball in the stands more than 4 times Saturday. He on a 4-time limit right now.
So you taking the under?
Man, like, you know what? I think it's gonna actually be a high scoring game. It's just he gotta learn to keep his eyes open, man, and his reads, man, because Lord have mercy. He literally don't go past the second progression. Like that's my thing with him. Like I be listening and hearing what everybody else experts what they have to say, and they praise Carr. They be praising him, and I'm like, am I missing something? I watch all the Raiders games, and I'm like, am I missing something? But
you ain't missing nothing, man.
I'll
say this: Wentz, in that last game, he just gave that game away. You had a fumble, and they got the ball, and then you had an interception, and then on the next series, the first play, he threw another interception. He did the same thing with the Bucs and turned that game around. Remember when I talked about turning the game around? He threw it. They were up, threw an interception. They went and scored 7. Then they came back, still winning. Threw another interception. They came back and scored. So we done with him. He got in the playoffs. You went from 11-5 team to a 9-8 team. Eagles went from a 4-12 team to a 9-8 team, and then now you in the playoffs.
And you lose because you out the playoffs because you can't beat the Jaguars.
Jaguars ain't a
2-team win.
The Jaguars beat the Bills, right? They beat the Bills.
Yeah, but it was a 9-6 game. It was a coming out party for Josh Allen, the defensive guy.
So
fellas, we had a good show. And appreciate y'all coming on, Trav. Appreciate you coming on. We back.
Yes, sir.
Season 2, episode 1. Should be a good weekend of football. And that's all I want to watch, even though I'm probably going to have to do a little work, but it's fine. I get in Tampa about 10 in the morning and then get to chill, relax, and then I guess we got to wait till the team arrives and then, shoot a stand up and then send it back and then I can chill. And then it's game day. But I'm just praying this weather is not like it's saying it's supposed to be with all this rain. So we'll see what happens.
Have your rain gear.
Man, I'm packing it up. Then I'm getting 2 umbrellas tomorrow just in case. So I can put them up my camera and then maybe the reporter might want one. So we'll see what happens. But hop up next time you can get on here. We're going to see what you say. He keep thinking they're going to win something.
Man,
it's over for y'all, man.
See,
it's over for y'all.
48 hours, man.
I hope you got your gear ready. You probably got your outfit already out, don't you?
Man, my daughter, man, she already wore her Raiders. I had her with a little pink Raiders shirt. My wife had her wear it to school. Let everybody know, what time it is. So we this is a week celebration. We all right.
All right, we're going to see. Enjoy the last week, but we'll see what happens. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure y'all like us on Apple Pie, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. A lot of things coming up. We got a lot of things in store. And we trying to do some other topics. So send us some other topics so we can get on there. We ain't just doing sports this time, all right, people. We ain't just doing sports. I know people been talking about let's do something else. Let's talk about something else. So we ain't. But for Trav, for me's, this is Talking Noise Podcast, episode 1, season 2. We out.
Peace.